But the question is, where do you put your money? I started off years ago saying cash is trash, and it's becoming trash. The more that artificial intelligence and technology makes things more efficient, prices should keep coming down, but the Fed keeps pumping it up. And so we have the guys in the middle, the people that, lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad is rich don't work for money. So the moment you do that, you're screwed. So it's coming true right now. It really deeply concerns me, especially now that I'm going, oh my God, what I was saying 25 years ago is coming true today. And that's why people have got to understand what goes on in your head, because that's the future now. The future of money lies in my opinion, crypto or Bitcoin and blockchain.
Let's start with Bitcoin. Just a quick summary to first-time listeners, Bitcoin is a decentralized ledger. You can think of an Excel sheet that nobody actually owns, but everybody that has a cell, you can control the money coming out only, and you can receive money. What's also interesting about Bitcoin is it's very, not fixed supply, very, very deflationary though. As more Bitcoins are minted, it gets less and less inflation. And I think it stops around 21 million Bitcoin. And it's not pegged against anything, right? Bitcoin is itself. It's not pegged to any world currency. And as a result, if you have US dollar getting printed as crazy, Bitcoin actually is inversely correlated. So basically, as a dollar value goes down, Bitcoin actually goes up. And what we're seeing right now is hundreds of billions of dollars being acquired by financial institutions. Grayscale being a very prominent one. They own $20 billion of Bitcoin right now. A lot of other funds are buying in the $100 million increments. But what's happening is there's not much supply left of Bitcoin actually. And it's causing an overcorrection of the kind of hedge against the dollar thesis. I think everyone agrees that it is a hedge against the dollar, but at some point it might be overcorrecting it. And then as the vaccines roll out and the dollar gets stronger, that thesis is going to get turned around, right? So that's at least my view on Bitcoin. And again, if we have a third stimulus, we probably haven't even seen the top yet. Third stimulus would, again, further devalue the dollar and further give Bitcoin that hedge up. So even $50,000 range that you predicted a while ago, which I thought was a little bit high, even the $50,000 range of Bitcoin is not out of the question at all right now.
I've never trusted the dollar, and I started off as a silver guy, then gold, and now I have Bitcoin. But I just don't trust my government. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a difference if Trump was in or Biden was in. We're still getting screwed. And what's happening to, in my opinion, income inequality is very simply that you have one thing going on is technology. Technology is wiping out jobs all over the place. And it's going to increase the artificial intelligence and all that. My friends who are accountants and lawyers and doctors, they say pretty soon we don't need as many of us because blockchain can handle a lot of that. So this idea of job security for life and, you can stay with a company forever is kind of obsolete thinking. And then the second problem, so one is artificial, one is technology, but second is corruption of the US dollar. And they just keep, instead of solving the problem, they just keep printing more of it. So the debt just keeps going up. But it makes it harder and harder for the guy literally in the street today to survive because they don't have the job skills, they don't have the skills and all this to earn the income that'll get them off the streets. And so it's more than systemic. This is global transformation right in front of us. I'm not judging Bitcoin. I'm judging the stupidity of our government. And and being a real estate guy, when I look at how much debt is going to default, and the question is, when all those office buildings around San Francisco can't pay their rent, who's going to bail them out? That's why I put my 50,000 bet. It was a bet against the economy. It wasn't a bet on Bitcoin. And I'm betting they're going to print. I mean, if they don't print, we're screwed anyway.
What's going on with Ethereum though? Because I think this is pretty crazy. So just another summary for everyone else. Ethereum took that decentralized ledger idea. They added a programmable logic on top of that. So people can actually develop code on blockchain. So what you have is decentralized code as well as currency and And people use the first use case is always currency, because that's like the most, you can like take financial applications and put value on it and then transfer it over the chain. But Ethereum in 2018 came up with the ICO concept. You can mint new tokens on top of Ethereum. And that became a huge fundraising vehicle in 2018, which ultimately resulted in a big bubble pop because there was not much utility. There was actually not much adoption coming from that. 2020, though, has changed everything. By the way, just to give a reference, Ethereum is up 700% since last year, and Bitcoin is up 300% since last year. So that's just kind of reference of what's going on with the kind of divergence of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But by the way, Bitcoin and Ethereum always very tightly coupled.
People say, what are you doing? I said, well, just buy it all. I have gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Like I said, I'm just betting against my government. That's all I'm doing, the stupidity of them.
So if you want to bet against the government, it's Bitcoin. If you want to invest in the technology, it is Ethereum. But there are a lot of projects within Ethereum that I think are very, very promising as well.
So Ethereum has some use to it, is what you're saying.
Yes. There was a lot of ideas, a lot of technology, scaling, all those ideas came out in 2018 and 2019. The first thing that really got adopted was in 2020, and that was called the decentralized exchange. But a couple projects made use of a concept called automated market making. And basically what that means is you can deposit money in pools, and then people can trade out of those pools. So at any moment in time, I can just go on, use my wallet that has any number of tokens and swap it with other tokens. And there's always liquidity. And that concept in 2020 exploded. It got to the point where there's more volume on decentralized exchanges than centralized exchanges. So that was 2020 was like the year of DeFi, decentralized exchanges. 2021 is going to have a whole new set of services that we can talk about as well.